So now what we are going to do is, we are going to compare a transformation between BW on HANA system with a transformation on BW4 HANA system. So there is a little bit difference between, appearance point of view, there is a difference. Functionality point of view, everything is same. There is no change in the transformation functionality when compared to BW on HANA with B4 HANA. But, the screen, how it looks like, the operations, how we perform, something. But so the screen here what currently you are looking is nothing but it is from the SAP BW on HANA. Okay, so this screen will looks like as it is when you open from the SAP GUI also. So because you see the window what currently opened is nothing but from SAP GUI only. Okay, but if you open the same kind of transformation, it will be displayed in this way. You see, this is the source fields, this is target fields, but a lot of appearance point of view, a lot of difference is there. There is no upper upper side menu in BW. This screen you can have some menu here on the top, and you see source, target, version, everything like this, start routine, end routine options and all like this. But when you see this BW4 HANA screen, here we don't have that menu bar. All the information you will get from below screen. Some other screens I will show you one by one. So in BW4 HANA, on BW on HANA side we already seen in our earlier sessions. So in BW on HANA, if you want to do mapping, simply we do drag and drop. Even in BW4 HANA also it is as it is. Simple drag and drop from source to target. There is no much difference between BW on HANA to BW4 HANA. But when coming to, for example, if you see here physical variant where I maintained one constant, this is called constant mapping. If I need to do this kind of constant mappings, how I will do, I will come to edit mode of my transformation and double click on this rule. Where I need to double click, I need to double click on this particular first column, or I can right click on this particular row, go to rule details. In the rule details, here on the rule type, I have an option to keep it as a constant and provide the constant value here. So this is how we do it in a traditional transformation, BW on HANA and normal systems. Okay, so if you want to do this kind of operation on BW4 HANA, how we are going to perform? Let's see. So I am moving into BW4 HANA screen. So this is the transformation on the BW4 HANA system. So my requirement is now for this version, I am going to keep a constant here. So how I am going to keep a constant here? To do this, you need to right click here and click on show rule. When you click on show rule, what will happen? You see on the bottom, there is a rules tab is there. No, not here. On the bottom, there is a properties window is there. On this properties, there are some other general rules and technical. 3 tabs are there. You need to go to rules. On the rules section, you can see currently this version related mappings here. So this is your target column version, 0 version, and this is the rule description, and this is the type. So here, this is nothing but rule type. What is type means? Here, nothing but rule type. Here you need to change it to go to the drop down and select the constant. So I want to maintain my version as a constant, for example, FC1. So that version I can go here, go to constant and press FC1 here. This is the box where I can hard code my constant value, and then click on save button. So click on the save. On the top you have the transformation save button. You can click on it. There is no transfer rules concept here. Simply you need to click on this one. So when you click on this one, you see it won't change anything here, but on the left between these 2 transformations, it mentioned as a constant FC1. Some C symbol is appearing here. Okay, so when you click, if I go to some other window, again if I come to version, then I can see what I maintained here as a constant. So this is how we perform a constant mapping on BW4 HANA. We need to do it from the below. There is no extra pop-ups, but you need to go to right click on the field, go to show rule, then automatically you will navigate to this rule section. Under rule section type you need to change. Okay, this is how it is. Now next thing, So next what we are going to learn is we have some other calendar dimensions. We have a cal day field in our source, and I have cal month, cal year, time dimension info objects in my target. So in BW on HANA, how it will be? So when you drag this created on into your physical period or cal day, cal month, what happens automatically? You will see this time, time dimension symbol, and mapping will be in this way. So now the same if we go for BW4 HANA. So how it is? I can drag and drop from cal day into my cal month like this. So here also what is happening, you see there is a time dimension, and what is this one? Time assignment of type conversion. So at runtime, um, what is happening is this particular calendar day will be converted to cal month. This is nothing but some conversion happens at runtime. So it will be derived automatically from the calendar day, nothing else. So same way I drag and drop my calendar day into cal year also. Here also I will get same kind of symbols. So this time dimension represents the time, time clock symbol represents the time dimension here. Okay. So this is nothing much to explain on it. So I click cal. And below under the rule type, I can see cal day was mapped to cal month, and the type is also of time dimension. Okay, so mapped cal day, that's it. So nothing else to learn more about the time dimension. So what next we are going to do is read from master data. So if I go to my BW on HANA screen, so there is a material info object on my source, and there is a material type info object on my target. I can derive this material type from material master data. So this is nothing but we call it as a read from master data. So if I double click on this material type, I can see one rule details here. On the rule details, I given my rule type as read from master data. Okay, read master data, and then I assigned my info object name here. So from this info object, it will go to the attribute section. On the attributes, if there is a info object of type GMAT type, then from this particular column, it will derive the information. So this is how we do this, read from master data in BW on HANA from GUI. But if you want to perform same kind of operation in BW4 HANA, how you are going to do? So the first thing is common. We need to map this material to this material type. Okay, so first thing is we need to map from material to material type. So this is normal one-to-one mapping. After that, we need to change our role type from direct assignment into lookup. Here we need to we need to write lookup. Okay, so now here we need to write the lookup object. So what is my lookup object here? 0 material. So you can go to browse here. One second, it's something coming. So after performing the one-to-one mapping from 0 material into 0 material type, so what happened? We need to come to rule details. If, for example, if the rule details are not appearing for you, simply right click on your material type, go to show rule. Then on your properties tab, you will go to this rule information. So now what we need to do, we need to map our, further. We need to map further this thing. We need to go to mapped source fields and need to provide this material. So mapped source field. Second. Yeah. We need to type here material because from the source I am using material here, right? So here like this, and then I need to go to this type, rule type. On the rule type, I need to change it from direct assignment into lookup. Okay, so once I change it to lookup, so then it will change here to lookup object. So now on which object, like in BW4 HANA, BW on HANA, on this rule details, here you are giving the info object name, right? Here you are giving the attribute, from which attribute you are going to material type, you are giving this information. So similar kind of screen here it is. So on which master data you are doing to lookup. So I am going to look up on 0 material master data. So provide 0 material and press enter. When you press enter, you see one extra bottom button came here. Now click on map fields of lookup. You need to do some mapping here. So click on it, then you will get one window like this. Now in this window you see there is a red color button. Here you need to perform some updates. So what exactly this is? Map fields of lookup object. Okay. So now what we are going to do here. So this is the select fields in the transformation source. It means nothing but this one. From this source, this zero material was equivalent to which column it is asking. So from here, this material column is equivalent to my zero material info object. I need to select that one here. So go to drop down and select material here. Okay, and if you click on more fields, then it will show all the fields from your source. You need to select your material info object. And then second step, every target field of the rule has to be mapped to a field in the lookup object. It means nothing but this is the field in the lookup object. So in my material master data, I have zero material type. From the same field, I am bringing my information. Now you need to keep in this way, zero material type, zero material type. Click on OK. Since both technical names are same, it taken automatically. If the technical names are different, then you need to map to the proper object. Okay, that's it. This is how you need to define your read from master data, master data in BW4HANA. So now I will do same for one more object, material group, for better understanding. Initially, I will do one-to-one mapping from material to material group, and then I will go to my role type. Here change it to lookup, and then come to lookup object. Okay, and then give here 0m material. And then map fields from lookup object was enabled. If this was correct, then it will come here. Now click on this one and select your source. So this particular zero material was equivalent to which field from the source. I need to select my material info object. Automatically material group will be copied from master data to this field information. Click on OK. So this is how you need to do read from master data. You see lookup, because of lookup functionality, it is showing this search button here. Okay, so we learned about material lookup functionality, read from master data. We learned about time dimension. We learned about calendar day also. Okay, so now finally what we need to learn is we need to learn about some formula also. Okay, so how to perform formula in BW on HANA. So if I see my example, I defined a formula on this material info column. So I created one substring function here to derive this material information. So now what I am going to do is in BW4HANA, in order to explain the formula functionality on the amount, whatever data is coming from the source, I am going to multiply it with 10. So such kind of formula I am going to write here. Simply amount into 10 formula I am going to write on this amount one. So in order to do that, select your info, a row here and come to role type and select here formula. When you click on formula, you see there is an option called formula here, and it is showing formula is missing because you need to apply some formula here. To apply the formula, you need to click on edit button. So click on edit button, and then a formula window will open in this way. So here you need to write your formula. So see, you can use some of the predefined system functions, because HANA string functions, you can convert functions, date and time, numeric functions, many functions you can use like this. These are arithmetic functions. You can write some if conditions also here based upon your requirement. But simply what I am going to do, I am going to do into 10. So if I click on source, then what is source here? Source is nothing but whichever fields I mapped from here to this amount, those comes under source. Only I mapped my amount column. So when I click on source, only amount I am seeing on my source fields. Now what I am going to do is I am taking this amount, I am multiplying into this star symbol into 10. That's it what I am doing. And then click on OK button. That's it. Okay. So I did. And one more thing, when coming to key figure section on BW4 on HANA, you can see for key figures, there is a functionality called, override and summation functionality, aggregation behavior. For cubes, it is summation by default, and for standard ADSOs, it is override functionality. Now, this kind of functionality where we can see in BW4HANA. In BW4HANA, under the rules section, if you see aggregation type, this is nothing but the same kind of functionality. Move means override functionality. Summation means aggregation behavior. Because my ADSO is of type standard ADSO, it is having by default override move functionality. If I created a cube, then you can see here aggregation type as summation. Okay, so and since I changed this amount from direct assignment into formula, here I can see F symbol. Okay, so I think these are the important things here. So when I go to general section, on general section, if you want to write some routines here, start routine and end routine and all, you can do it here. And if you want to write some field level routines also, simply by changing the type from file to routine, you can write some ABAP code in the routines. So this we discuss in further classes when we learn about ABAPs. Okay, so that's all. These are the